Y'all, we are under a fucking attack. This is not to scare y'all. This is not none of that. But I think I mentioned in one of my other videos, we are going through a frequency war right now. We are going through a frequency war right now. And the only thing that you have to do in this frequency war is to make sure your vibration either stays high, or if it dips low, if it ever dips low, make sure that you come back to yourself and you're able to raise your vibration again. It is all types of things going on. Like, I'm just going to say, like, even right now for me doing this video, the resistance on me doing this video is honestly the way I'm looking right now. Like, my eyes are probably far apart. But let me tell you, these bitches right now to me look like they're on either side of my face. Now, I don't know if you guys seen that thing on TikTok where it's like, you know, people making a video and as they're talking, the fucking eyes start moving farther and farther away, and it's like to kind of fuck with them. That's what I feel like is happening to me right now. But I know that it's a mental thing. I know it's like a veil, a projection that someone is sending me. So my job is to not focus on that and to be like, well, I'm going to make sure I see myself clearly. No, I'm just going to give what I need to give. Like, I'm here to do this video. I'm not even going to pay that shit no mind. Because that's perfectionism and insecurity. That's dumbass shit anyway. I mean, not dumb shit, but it's stuff that needs to be acknowledged and worked through. But that don't have shit to do with me giving this message right now. This message needs to be given. We are in a frequency war. You see how cold it is. You see how it was like warm. Like the temperature was really trying to hold. And then it had got cold. And then the temperature kind of started coming back, you know, because that was like a frequency attack and it didn't work. So now that the holidays are here, remember what I was telling you about energy siphoning and the holiday time, like, and the veils are thinning and all this good stuff, right? The collective, we're ending the year of the 9, the whole world. Like, it's just a lot that's happening, a lot of cycles that's ending, you know. A lot of people is next up, you know. Some people is next up in April. Some people was next up in September. Some people are going to be next up in December and November, whatever. It's like it's a bunch of people, a bunch of chosen ones that are coming into their inheritance, into their knowing, into themselves, you know. And it's causing a lot of moths to the flames, causing a lot of negative energies, a lot of vampiric energies. It's causing, the wheel of fortune has shifted. So all the negative energies, people with negative intentions, people that's just fucking trifling as fuck out here, because there's some trifling ass people with just the crazy, just audacity. Nasty individuals, nasty on the inside. Like, when you talk about the Grinch, I wouldn't touch you with the 10.5-foot pole. I wish I like if y'all could see the insides of these people. If anybody ever seen the portrait of Dorian Gray, read it. I read it as well as looked at the movie. I read it first and then I fell in love with the movie. But really what it is it's a guy who he was able to forego his consciousness through a mystical painting. So he got a portrait of himself and he asked the portrait, or whatever, he asked the devil, it was like a deal with the devil, that his soul wouldn't, like, his physical body wouldn't age, it wouldn't take on any of the nastiness, none of the nastiness that he has on the inside, none of the deeds, the sins, any of that would show up on the outside. It would just stay. It wouldn't even really have an effect on the inside either, because his soul was removed and put into that portrait. So as the years, you know, he fucking locked that portrait up in the attic, and he lived years and decades of murdering, of lust, of this, of treating people bad, of just all types of debauchery, moral debauchery. He had no morals. And there's a lot of people out there like that right now. And how the movie ended is when he seen that portrait. Bro, that portrait looked like what? Like, just watch the movie. That portrait was fucked up. And it got to a point where I think he was haunted, or like he couldn't die. Like, it was like a process. Like, I think he was immortal. Like, it was something where he wanted to he wanted to take on his soul again, because he was empty without it. I forgot. It's been so long since I watched the movie and read the book. But that was the gist of it. So this Wheel of Fortune, you have a lot of Dorian Grays out there that now, like the ending, he had to stab the portrait and he had to take on his soul again, which had all of the blemishes, and it fucking killed him. Once he took on all of the karma of his soul, it took his ass out of there. Quick, fast, and in the hurry. The karma of his soul literally crushed his ass. And that is what is happening right now. And that is why you need to protect yourself. And that is why we're having such a frequency shift right now. The frequency attacks, that's why it's getting cold. Because on an individual basis and on a collective basis, all the Dorian Grays are now taking on the karmas of their soul, and it's killing them slowly. Slowly. Maybe not actually physically, some of them. But some of them is just spiritually, financially, opportunity-wise. They're being slaughtered, left for dead. No mercy. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to take on some of their karma. They're trying to get some energy from you, some of your Midas touch. You know, you got the Midas touch. Everything you touch turns to gold, and everything they touch turns to shit. So they need a little bit of your Midas touch to turn that shit into gold. We not alchemizing nothing for nobody, not no motherfucking more. We only alchemize for ourselves. And it's time to alchemize our power. Okay, it's time to stand in our power. It's no more playing small. It's no more being Mr. Nice Guy. It's no more Mr. Nice Girl. Okay? Act funny. Be funny. Everybody else want to act funny with you. You act funny back. Why? Because you're protecting your energy. You don't owe them anything. They want to all of a sudden feel entitled to your energy, when literally they could have helped you out with some of their energy yesterday, but they said fuck you yesterday. They said fuck you yesterday, but literally today, less than 24 hours later, they're asking for some of your energy. Fuck them, because this is real out here. This is not no joke. They will come. People, you know the ways. If you don't know the ways in which energy vampires, and sometimes it is based on an individual, okay? Take a look at all your karmic relationships and pay attention into the ways in which you have interacted with them. Pay attention to how you feel after certain interactions. If you feel really angsty and really anxiety and really like dysregulated, let me tell you, that was not a back and forth. Because I thought that for a second. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, because I wasn't totally drained, I was just left feeling really anxious, really jittery. I took that as, oh, it was an equal exchange of no, that was my nervous system telling me, bitch, I don't feel safe because you talking to a motherfucker that don't like you, that didn't plan to take you out of here. Literally plan to lock you up inside a facility. You literally got proof, word of mouth from somebody else, that this person tried to do that, and you sitting up there talking to him like everything's hunky-dory. Bitch, I don't feel safe. And that's what sometimes your body will give you clues. Somebody may try to talk to you and you feel a pit, a sinking feeling at the end of your, that is your intuition telling you, like, turn and fucking exit that conversation. You don't owe anybody a conversation. You don't owe anybody nothing. I need somebody to hear this. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody anything. You're not a people pleaser. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe them politeness. You don't owe them a smile. You don't even owe them a fucking hello if you don't want to. We taking back our free will. And we're taking back our sovereignty. It is so many people that feel so helpless. It is so many children that feels bound by their parents. So many family members that feel bound by that bullshit they call blood. I mean, it's not bullshit. Blood is very powerful. Bloodlines. You know what you know. I know. But I also know of that dumbass blood is thicker than water when motherfuckers really don't even. That's what I'm saying. That's why I can't even take some religious people seriously, because I read the Bible in entirety. I didn't memorize it, but I know I read it. Like, every time I read that shit put me straight to sleep. I read it while I was pregnant with my first child, but I definitely remember that one too. I read that shit myself multiple times. It says the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, you damn dumbasses. So it's saying the family you choose will always be stronger than the family that you're born into, because you didn't choose them. You don't necessarily, everybody who's born into a family isn't of the same ranking, isn't of the same heart, isn't even of the same spiritual bloodline. Let's get this fucking straight. We talk about bloodlines. We talk about there's physical bloodlines and there's spiritual bloodlines. Everybody that's born into one family, like a physical bloodline, is not of the same spiritual bloodline. Not at all. So you need to recognize that. And that is why if I'm not of the same spiritual bloodline of my family, we're never gonna mesh. We're not equally yoked. We never will. So I have to go out and find such and such that we are equally yoked. So yes, so if I'm equally yoked with somebody that I chose, but I was born into a family where we're not equally, like, yes, it's gonna be stronger. Boom, bam, right there. And you know what? I feel like that's something that a lot of people are kind of like bound by. They're bound by a lot of familial ties, and it really does destroy, because a lot of families, that's where a lot of the incest happen, a lot of pedophilia, a lot of the, I know you're supposed to say P word, I'm so sorry, but whatever, a lot of that in touching, a lot of that trauma, it happens with family members when you're young growing up. Or it happens with your family member's friend. That's their friend. That's not your friend. And you have to be around that friend because of that family. Like, you see? If anybody out there, and I love the idea of families, we need to start building spiritual families. We need to start having kids, also people we're equally yoked with. But even if not, like, everything happens for a reason. I don't want you guys to beat yourself up. I don't want you guys to beat yourself up over, like, what you've accepted from your family, or feeling like, even if you still feel some sort of pull to them, some sort of, just know that it doesn't have to be that way. And once you just slowly start to just incorporate that into your being, that you're not obligated, that there are expectations of you, you can put them down, you can release them. Release those expectations. Every time they see you, they expect you to want to have a conversation with them. No. And let them. If they keep expecting it for you, let them. Do not get frustrated either. Don't start to be like, okay, well, since I don't have to do that, I need you to understand that I don't have to do that. No, stay in control of yourself. Okay? Don't lose the plot. Don't start being controlling and now you expect everybody to respect your boundaries because you have them now. No, people still gonna try to get you fucked up. And guess what? Every time they get you fucked up, just reinforce them boundaries. It's whatever. It's there. It's whatever. Don't get irritated. Don't feel like, if you are in a situation where you have to continuously deal with your boundaries being crossed, because people are quick to be like, just get out of the situation, just get out of the situation. And it's crazy because one of the little and it's crazy because I've been listening to that song actually really hits for me, and it came back around in the TikTok read, and I was kind of like, what you know about that? But he had gray hair, a little bit of gray hair, and I'm still in my 20s, so I was like, you're right, what the fuck do I know about that song? But the song was, what would you do if your son was at home, crying alone on a bedroom floor because he hungry, and the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man with a little bit of money, and his daddy's gone, and they out of lockdown. Damn, I ain't got a job now. So if it's you, this is just a good time, but for me, this is what I call life. And that was a guy, literally asking her, she was a stripper. That was a guy asking her, and she's telling her, what would you do if your son was at home, crying alone on a bedroom floor because he hungry? And, that shit is oh my gosh, let me not start crying, but that shit is, serious. No, I never had the script. No, my son not making, no. But if you've ever been in a situation that's not so easy to get out, then you know. If you're in a situation that requires temperance and patience, then you would know. It's not, but you do what you have to do, okay? To get through the situation, because it will always get better. It's happening for you, not to you. Whatever strength, whatever temperance, whatever patience that you are building up in these moments, whatever boundaries, whatever that you are letting go, you're gonna need it for your blessings. Don't nobody want to be, who was that person? Don't nobody want to be a Johnny Depp. Because not only did he have to go through that whole Amber Heard thing, he had to file bankruptcy after making $50 million because he was buying shit out the ass. And his financial accountant was having him buy shit out the ass. Until one day they looked up and it was like, oh, you broke. I got my salary. Bye. So you need to know, these are things. These are things. These are tings. That's just an example. You know what I'm saying? Or he had a wife for 20 years and he left that Lord. He left Shorty for that stank hole that shat on his bed. I am so glad she did that. He definitely deserved that. Once you hear about how he did his baby mother of 20 years, they was together for 20 years, had 2 of his kids, and then he went and left her for Amber Heard that went and took a hot on his bed. That's what the fuck he get. Cause, all right, I'm sorry. Nope, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. That was spirit, giving me yeah, girl, go in there. But me, I'm still working on tempering myself, and I need to stop tempering myself. I always feel like I'm being too much, and then I'll stop and I'll say sorry. No, I'm not gonna say sorry anymore, because that is what the fuck he get. You don't do that to people. You don't throw people away once you think you've got something better. So he learned real quick that the grass wasn't greener, and that people are more than money. They're more than their looks. They're more than age. All that superficial shit. He learned real quick. So not only has he had to file bankruptcy at one point. Oh, no. Maybe this was Nicolas Cage. I think it was Nicolas Cage. One of them motherfuckers lost a lot of fucking money. And I think it was Johnny Depp. But it was Nicolas Cage. It was one of them motherfuckers that after all that money they was making in the movies, ended up broke. They had to file bankruptcy. Yes, they made more movies, but... Okay, so this shit was 20 minutes. So, I said all that to say, like, this is preparing you. This is preparing you. It's preparing you to really value what you should, to value yourself, to learn the lessons on financial literacy, financial freedom, financial responsibility, on not people pleasing. So you're not buying this family member this and that family member that, and then they going broke, and then they coming to you again. Oh, let's do this business, and then that business fail, and you look up and all your fucking money gone because you trying to be... No. We got this. We got this. We got this. I'm going to say it again. We got this. You see the snow in the back? You see how black people... I don't like snow. I don't like the cold. But I meant it, and it's crazy because like a week or two ago, I had a vision that I was going to be doing this in the snow. I had a vision because, and it came at a time where I had decided, like, I'm not giving up on me. And I didn't know whether this vision was me hoping to like prove that I can do it. No, it wasn't. That's what I thought it was then. But no, it was literally just a vision of me actually doing it. Like, come on now. And I love y'all. I love y'all. I really do. I really hope and wish the best. And I'm really giving y'all, like, the things that I've done, the things that I've been through, And it's crazy because, like, my mom was telling y'all about GTA, about how on the map, like, I got so many story times of, like, people, cars just popping out of nowhere, stalking me, staring at me. Like, they did that yesterday. They was trying to intimidate me yesterday. I was sitting at the park in the car, and I had a bunch of people, like a bunch of cars, and it was like the same 3, 4, 5 cars. Like, you look at the name, the visual car, they just kept riding past, kept looking at me. Like, they would like drive past slow, like they would look at me and like little shit like that, or they would drive past real fast. Like, it just weird stuff, like gang stalking. But it's all right. I don't care. I'm protected. I'm big protected with a capital P. Like, y'all big mad. Like, y'all gonna stay mad. That's how you gotta act. That's how you gotta walk. Chin up. Head up, chin up, shoulders back. We got this.